Welcome, everyone, to the NBA on 2K Sports. With Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Doris Burke will be along, too, from the sideline. Now a chance to check out our starting lineups. First, for the Heat, Chalmers and D-Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. And it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the 4. And for the Mavericks, Calderon is out there with Ellis, and it's Samuel Dalembert manning the middle at the center position. Then there's Marion, and it's Nowitzki in at the 4 slot.
Only 3 teams in the entire Eastern Conference had a better than 500 record against the West, and no surprise the Heat were one of those 3, and they were dominant against Western Conference opponents all year long.
Mark, adding on to what you were saying about the Heat versus the West, they ended up 25-5, which is incredible, Steve, given how many tough teams that are in the Western Conference.
It's amazing, Kevin. They had a better record against the West than they did against the East in terms of their winning percentage. So I think that speaks to just how motivated Miami was when they went out on the road to the West in particular to really show everybody how good they were.
Now here is Haslam. Clock at 2 from deep three-point range, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. Calderon with it. Marion, a screen on Chalmers. Marion setting the pick for Calderon. Ellis outside. Back to Calderon. Shot clock at 6. Ellis. From 17 feet out. Offensive rebound. And Dalembert kicks to Calderon. Ellis outside. About a minute played so far here in the first. Back to Calderon. Calderon gets a screen from Dalembert. There's Ellis with the 3-ball. Ellis can't get that one to fall either.
You know, Miami went to that smaller lineup last season, and a big change in that was having Chris Bosh move over to the 5 spot. Not his natural position, but I thought he held his own both offensively and defensively playing in the middle.
Now here is Haslam. Here's LeBron, and it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
Hopefully both teams can pick up their scoring. The game is about putting it in the basket. That first basket took a while.
And for Bosh, playing the center, Steve, he's giving up some weight out there.
But he's a very smart defender. He avoids fouls, and you know, the way the league is these days, Kevin, most teams play smaller, and Bosh can normally find a center that he can guard without too much trouble. But there are a few matchups around the league that are a problem.
Well, they got the speed and the pressure of that Miami defense. You think they're able to compensate for any lack of size inside by using those other things.
Yeah, that's normally the case against, I would say, the vast majority of the league.
Here's Calderon after the made shot from Dwayne Wade. Calderon kicks to Marion. From outside the arc, there's the bucket. Good. Marion's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
Kevin, he didn't hesitate that time. D gave him a step, and he just pulled up and drained the 3.
Wade, good.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Now here's Ellis. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in, Marion dishes to Dalembert. Marion, a screen on Bosh. And Dalembert kicks to Calderon. Another 3 for Dallas.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there. You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication, has really become an outstanding coach.
And the shot is good.
You know, he operates so well close to the bucket. There's nothing he likes more than seeing an opening inside.
Delamere sets a screen for Calderon. Ellis the pass to Marion. And he misses the go-ahead basket. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra. As a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
And the Heat making a change here. Chris Anderson is checked in for Bosch. Battier comes in for Udonis Haslem. Ray Allen is checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Norris Cole in for Mario Chalmers. Mavericks trailed by 4. Let's send it out to Doris Burke, who caught up with head coach Rick Carlisle. Doris?
There are a lot of big names to deal with in this one, but perhaps none bigger than LeBron James. He told me planning for LeBron is a headache because he can do so much on the floor, saying there isn't a hole in his game. The only real way to slow him down is to get him working against himself. Physically, there is no answer for LeBron.
Thank you, Doris. And Miami has possession following Monte Ellis's 3. Here's Anderson, and there's another one for the Heat.
And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim. Certainly was not the year the Mavs expected or had in mind last season. After retooling and expecting a playoff appearance, they ended up out of the playoffs and looking for answers.
And the basket by Harris.
Boy, he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the defense.
Heat have gotten 6 or 7 shots to fall in the first quarter. They're off and running. And Cole kicks to Anderson. Pass to Allen. The feed to LeBron. Defended by Crowder. Baseline Jay on the way. And it's Miami with another. And back to the Mavs, 24-17 at home, which is a solid record, but you have to be better than solid, I think, Steve, to get into the playoffs in the Western Conference.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Kevin. And you think about the Mavs' shortcomings last year. I mean, Dirk being hurt early, so they didn't mesh well. And then when he did come back, there probably was too much ground to make up. So hopefully Dallas can have a full season of health for Dirk and the rest of the roster.
Here's LeBron. A rebound by Carter. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Miami ahead. They lead by a bucket. And we'll get going after this from the American Airlines Center. Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Heat?
Boy, their post play has been tremendous so far.
You know, it also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there.
Dallas has gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting.
Anytime you see Vince Carter and you start thinking about how he was as the undisputed dunk king in years gone by, but as his spring and lift has been grounded, he's made up for it in other ways and has really improved as a defender.
And here is LeBron. Vince Carter getting it to go from deep. Allen dishes to Cole. Anderson a screen on Harris. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Allen. Launches it. Here's Anderson. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Chris Anderson, known as the Birdman, possibly because he flies above the rim all the time. He's got a huge wingspan, great reach, leaping ability, blocks a lot of shots down there.
Birdman has always been great at defense, and as he keeps adding years in the league, you know, it's an ability of his that has never diminished. And that one misses. And Steve, going back to Clark, he really took the league by storm back with Toronto. Still an NBA player with great quality.
Yeah, he can do a little bit of everything, Kevin. Not the explosive guy that he once was, but he's always been a skill player with his long-range shooting, his ball handling, good passer. That's why he's still hanging around and still making a contribution here in the NBA.
The Heat marched their way to the best record in the league last season, 66-16, and the ability to win on the road, a big part of that league best record.
Now here is Carter. And it's Harris off the drive. Back to Carter. And good coming on the assist from Devin Harris. Harris has got 3 assists now in this one. The Heat trail by 3. And back to the Heat in their play on the road. 29 wins for them as the visiting side. And that was in another category compared to every other team in the league. Steve, nobody else really even came close.
No, nobody did. And I'll tell you what, when they went on their huge winning streak, it wasn't like they did it all at home. In fact, 13 of those 27 games during their winning streak were on the road, and that's not easy to do.
Here's Wade, following the score by Vince Carter. Wade gets a screen from Bosh. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
You know, if you just look at the numbers without knowing who Dwayne Wade was, you'd think he was probably 6'7" or 6'8", but the way he blocks shots and rebounds, even at 6'4", he just plays much bigger than he really is.
And he knocks down the first one. And you go back, Clark, to that big man game for Wade, averaging about a block shot a game for his career.
Well, you think about it, he's 6'5", but he actually has a 6'11" wingspan, and you're not going to find a stronger guy at the shooting guard position. He's over 220 pounds, and there's nothing extra there, so he brings a lot to the table.
Second free throw, no good.
Dallas usually does well against the Eastern Conference, and even in a year when they were struggling, that still was the case. The Mavs posted a 500 or better record against every division in the Eastern Conference.
On the wing, Merritt. Back to Harris. Lets it go with the 3. The shot is off, and it's Miami the other way. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Gentlemen, Rick Carlisle is widely considered an outstanding strategist and X and O's coach. But with the turnover on the Mavericks roster the last few seasons, he's tried to keep things as simple as possible for them. He said, quote, "My ongoing goal is to call less or no plays if we can. We want our guys to make plays." Kevin?
Well, Doris, when you've got that kind of talent and IQ, playing on instinct can certainly be effective. And the first one drops. Dallas did finish 41 up and 41 down on the year, with 17 of those wins coming, Steve, against the East. Not a bad mark for him.
And you'll remember last season, it was in March when the Mavs started gaining a lot of ground and kind of put themselves into playoff contention. And a lot of those wins that month came against Eastern Conference teams.
That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2.
You know, the Mavs, like many teams, are always aware of who the free agents are that might help them become better. And prior to last season, they made sure they got their finances in order to make a run at Darren Williams to bring him home to Texas. Didn't work out, but they did the same thing this last offseason.
Now here's Calderon. Nowitzki for 3. Ray Allen grabs the board.
Nobody near him. He'll normally make that one.
Allen right side. T-Wade on the wing. Shoots a 3, and that one's good. Wade's got 4 points this quarter. And for the Mavs, they know that in order for them to remain competitive and not go through a traditional rebuilding phase where they're going to finish, at the bottom for a few years, Steve, they're going to have to lure some free agents.
And one way or another, their top brass has always made sure that they would be able to move contracts around and make an offer to whatever big-name player was out there. But think about it. The last 2 years, they had unlimited cap room, unable to lure that big free agent fish to Dallas.
And Miami making a change here. Battier's checked in. Now about 3 minutes gone in this second quarter of basketball. Calderon against Chalmers. Dishes it to Bosh. Miami no good on that time either.
And a nice job there defensively, just getting a hand up enough to bother the shot.
Yeah, that was very nice. Impressive. It made it a much more difficult shot.
Now here is Carter. 5 points in the game. Hit his foot. And it's whistled a kick. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played.
After their hot start from outside earlier, they've cooled down a bit here.
Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Hey, last season Chalmers missed a game-winning shot. That happens to a lot of guys in this league, but what he did the next game is of note. He made 10 threes, and arguably his best game ever, as he set a Miami Heat team record for makes beyond the arc.
Devin Harris has checked in for Dallas. The Mavericks have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. Carter sets the pick for Calderon. He dishes it to Marion. Working on Bosch. From the baseline. And that one's good. Marion's got 5. And Mario Chalmers grew up in Alaska. Not too many NBA players hailing from up there. Taken with the 34th pick back in 08.
He's played his entire career with the Heat, and really it was a perfect situation for him when LeBron arrived, because he's a kind of a combo guard. He plays the point, but he's an excellent spot-up shooter, so he can play off of LeBron and Wade quite well.
Now here's Calderon. Shane Battier unable to get his shot to go in. Clock at 6. Harris kicks to Calderon. There's the 3. Gets it to go. And it's a 5-point Maverick lead.
I'm not sure who was supposed to pick him up, but somebody's going to get an earful from the coach for leaving him that wide open.
Here's Chalmers. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good.
Obviously, they're evenly matched teams on the inside. The rebound numbers are very even.
Yeah, I've been impressed with just both teams' energy, just really working hard on the board.
Gallenberg, he's guarded by Haslem. Here's Gallenberg. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Harris, here's Carter. The finger roll finish at the bucket. And the Mavericks lead by 7.
They didn't get off to much of a start early on, but he seems to have shaken off the rust here in the quarter.
Wade outside. Now here's Chalmers. No good, unable to end this run.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, they were very lucky defensively because there was some miscommunication there. They left him wide open.
Now here is Harris. 7-point game, the biggest lead in the game. It's stolen by Wade. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Kicks to Chalmers. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. Chalmers has got his first basket. Here's Calderon. The shot will not go. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Mavericks lead by 5. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the third quarter.
Now, presented by Sprint.
It's halftime, and I'm Damon Bruce. An excellent game going on at American Airlines Center. A good one in progress for the Mavericks. They're crashing the offensive glass with reckless intensity, tremendous hustle. Their leading scorer, Vince Carter, at the break, 7 points, and also helped out with 2 rebounds. And a tough matchup, but the Heat staying afloat. They're scoring with confidence, shooting with an excellent percentage. D. Wade playing impressively so far. He's got 8 points and is also sharing the ball, picking up assists as well. And we'll be heading back to the court for the rest of our coverage as we go to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke for the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And we welcome you back, a nighttime view of glistening downtown Dallas, Texas.
You know, no denying it's been a heck of a run the last few years for the Heat, but you can't help but wonder if the impending 2014 summer of free agency could be the end of it all. The big three came together in a flash of lightning, it seemed, but it could end just as fast if one or all decide to opt out.
And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, Kevin, LeBron James, a career 33% shooter from long range, had never shot over 36% from long range until last year, when he shot over 40% from deep. He said over the summer working out, he punished himself for missed threes by running wind sprints. And with the Heat, he challenged Ray Allen to three-point contest, with the loser doing push-ups. James said he lost more than he won, but as much as he hates to lose, that competition drove him to improve. Kevin?
You know, you hear it all the time, Doris, lead by example. He's a hard act to follow with his workout. Now here's Ellis. There's the pass to Nowitzki. Ellis with a screen on Chalmers. They get a hand on it. Stolen by Chalmers.
Well, that's not been a typical possession for them in this first half. You know, for the most part, they've been pretty smart with the ball.
The dish to LeBron. 6 to shoot. Marion with the steal. And here's the fast break. Marion leading the way. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way.
Boy, that's embarrassing, guys. He's going to have a hard time living that one down later when they watch it on tape.
The Heat trail by 5. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Bosch sets the pick for Chalmers. Now Haslam inside. Good work defensively by Nowitzki. Dallas has gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. They're 6 of 15.
Jose Calderon out of Spain is a terrific playmaker and shooter. He's not a guy who's going to put up big numbers, but you give him the keys to your offense, and he's going to make a lot of good things happen for you.
Pocket 4. Here's Ellis. Miami grabs the miss. Chalmers off the pick from Haslam. Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. And Mario Chalmers gets the three. Chalmers has got the opening bucket to start the second half for the Heat. And going back to Calderon, as good as he is offensively, Steve, you have to manage his matchups defensively.
Yeah, especially in today's NBA, quickness can be so deadly, and I think it's true. Calderon sometimes is at the mercy of those faster point guards in the league, but he can really play. He does an awful lot of good things out on the floor.
Now here's LeBron following the miss by Monte Ellis. And Haslam backs down for the tie. Dirk Nowitzki with the rebound. The Mavericks leading. Ellis outside. Marion setting the pick for Calderon. Doubled by Haslam. Marion passes to Ellis. And the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
And a new group in for the Heat. Here's LeBron. He's got 6. Back to Anderson. Pass to Chalmers. Feeds it to Wade. Working on Ellis. LeBron outside. For the three. No luck. And it's Dallas the other way.
This last summer, the Mavs asked fans to submit some redesigns of their uniforms for future use. Always kind of neat to see when a team and organization reaches out for the fans' input.
That drops. And it's a 7-point Maverick lead.
A wide open three. They need much better communication defensively.
Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Wade dishes to Anderson. And again, it's the Heat missing. And back to the Mavs. Definitely a big move by them to reach out like that. Nothing like bringing crowdsourcing to the NBA and building a bridge, Steve, with your fan base.
Kevin, I had a chance to see some of the designs of the uniforms that were being suggested. Some pretty sharp-looking duds, but there were some other ones that were absolutely hideous. So let's hope the decision makers in the Mavs organization pick some of the, let's say the more clean-looking new uniform suggestions.
Norris Cole, he's checked in for Mario Chalmers. Here's Cole. Battier outside. He feeds it to LeBron. Left side Anderson. Can they get it? And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
But there was some style there, Kev. It was a pretty sweet one-handed flush.
Count the bucket. And that's 10 points for Vince Carter.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
Yeah, they have the defense on the run right now because every pass seems to have a purpose. They're getting great movement, great spacing, and they're really lining them up defensively.
Here's Cole. Back to LeBron. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Battier, guarded by Wright, unloads. The Heat rebound. Wade kicks to Battier. Pass to Cole. LeBron outside. The feed to Cole. There's 39 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Wade. Anderson. Some solid defense here from Crowder.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady work they've been doing on the interior, no question. And that's, I think, the main reason they have this lead.
Really left alone that time. And that's now 10 points for Devin Harris.
This looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
Yeah, I don't know, Clark. I think there might be even more defense in warm-ups. I mean, this is kind of embarrassing.
And there's the foul on Jay Crowder. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
11 seconds left in the third quarter. He lobs up.
Oh, that was awesome.
Hug out below.
Unbelievable what I'm seeing here. Is this the dunk contest?
Hey, this one counts, Clark. Believe me, what confidence to attempt the alley-oop to himself.
He just couldn't resist, could he?
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Mavericks ahead. They lead by 12. And we'll get going after this from the American Airlines Center. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Mavericks.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
The other thing that jumps out to me is just the big number of assists they've had. The offensive efficiency has been a major factor.
And Chris Bosh with the slam. They'd love to get more of those, the easiest 2 points possible. And on a fierce finish.
Yeah, and that's exactly how they're going to cut into the lead, Kevin.
Yeah, that's why they've got to tighten up their D. And I'd be surprised if the defense allows any more free runs to the hoop like that.
Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for the Heat.
A lot of people thought the East would be a cakewalk for Miami last year, but Indiana made sure that wasn't going to be the case. What a series with the Pacers using their size and strength to pound Miami down low. And eventually the Heat were able to pull it out, but boy, was that a tough series.
And here's Calderon, 4 on the clock. There's Ellis with the 3 ball. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And the Heat making a change here. Chalmers is checked in. The Heat trail by 9. Chalmers off the pick from Bosh. And Chalmers kicks to Haslem. Haslem a screen. LeBron passes to Chalmers. Dishes it to Bosh. Shot clock at 6. Puts it up from 7. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. And just to touch back on the Eastern Conference Finals, went to a Game 7 where Miami ran away with the game. But, you know, Clark, if it weren't for the heroics of LeBron earlier in the series, it could have been the Pacers that took on San Antonio in the finals.
You know, I was thinking a little bit about two former ABA teams meeting in the NBA Finals, but the Heat managed to steal Game 1, and I thought that proved to be the difference in the end. That was a game the Pacers had and didn't squeeze. But the way these two teams are constructed, they should be seeing a lot more of each other in the near future. And I think that's great for the league because whenever they meet up in the regular season or the playoffs, it's always been a battle the last couple of years.
Nice rivalry developing between those two.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
A good one brewing there.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address his team. He told them that they simply have to step up, saying if we don't make a move now, it's going to be too late. Give them everything you've got. Kevin?
Here's Allen. Gets it to go.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Mavericks leading by 9. And the Mavericks call time here. And at this point of the game, getting a break here, important for the teams to regroup. And for the players, this is where you have a chance to get rehydrated with Gatorade. Get ready to play strong to finish off the game. Dwayne Wade, he's checked in for Miami. Marion against LeBron. Now Calderon. Lock at 6. And here's Ellis from beyond the arc. And it's good. And the Mavericks lead by 12.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing them. That's 4 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been three-pointers.
The drive by LeBron. It's rebounded by Dallas.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but in the rebounding department too, Clark.
Yeah, it's been a really gritty performance. They'll have some bruises to show for it, but that's the way it should be. You should feel that you've competed when you do that work inside.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Wade kicks to LeBron. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Well, LeBron James was probably his best season statistically a year ago. I don't think there's any question about it, guys. I mean, certainly it was his most efficient offensive season. I mean, he had career highs of 56% shooting from the floor and 41% from long range. I don't know if we've seen a player of his size put together those kinds of numbers with the types of shots that he takes. I mean, just absolutely stunning what he did in terms of his efficiency last season.
And both free throws good for LeBron. And for LeBron James, this season before last, he really focused on scoring in the post. You know, Steve, using his size and strength.
And we've seen his field goal percentage climb as a result. The low post work, I think the selection too, shoots fewer three-pointers but a higher percentage. So now, you know, how do you guard the guy? He's got everything in the package.
Dallas leading by 8. And the foul on Dwayne Wade. That'll be his second foul of the game.
He tried to step in and cut him off, but just not quick enough.
And we have the benefit of replay, but I think they got that one right, which is the case most times, even though fans don't think so.
Chalmers against Calderon. Pass to Ellis. Nowitzki with the screen on Wade. They double team Ellis. 6 on the shot clock. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
Well, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. The drive by Wade. And Nowitzki with the block. But they'll get another chance. And here's Chalmers from the arc. It's rebounded by Dallas. Dallenberg's got his 8th rebound here tonight.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle. And that's held true in this one so far, Steve.
And even if it's only a modest advantage that they have in that category, it's still a significant factor.
5 to shoot. Calderon against Wade. That's good. And now a 12-point Maverick lead.
A very hot shooting second half has seen them bring that field goal percentage way up.
Yeah, they're cruising now, really looking to add to this lead, and this has been a clinic, Clark.
Now a timeout called by Miami. They trail by 12. A minute 50 left in the fourth quarter. A minute 50 left to play in the final quarter. Bosch hits the pick for Wade. Ellis on him. With the fadeaway. And again, it's Dwayne Wade. Wade's got 4 points now in the quarter.
You know, he's got a quick trigger from that range when he senses that the defense has backed off.
And Mario Chalmers gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
.133 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Ellis kicks to Nowitzki. Haslam's there. Fades and shoots. Nowitzki's shot is no good.
That's an unusual, surprising miss for him. Typically, he's good on those inside.
LeBron dishes to Wade. He kicks it to Haslam. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. .106 left in the fourth quarter. Mavericks leading by 8. Calderon passes to Ellis. Nowitzki up top. Marion outside. He passes to Calderon. Tipped away. Just 5 on the clock. And here's Chalmers from the arc. Good! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
You know, defensively, you cannot forget about him. He gave him a wide-open look there.
This may be their most important possession.
Yeah, as long as they don't make a mistake here, they should be safe. And every point they get now puts them one step closer to the W.
If they're not there already, Steve, just a tremendous all-around game of basketball they play.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. He dishes it to Wade. LeBron James on the wing. It's good! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
His presence is very comforting for this team. He's kind of a fallback option for them at any time they need it.
And now we've got the intentional foul. He gets the first, then increases their lead to 6. And so both free throws are good. And it's a 7-point game.
And no mistakes there. A couple of good free throws to give them a little extra cushion.
Timeout called the Heat. They're losing by 7. 15 seconds left in the game. What's your take, guys?
Well, talk all they want, but I just don't see a way for them to get back into the game here.
You know what? I don't know if there's a 10-point play out there. And that being the case, this one is over.
.15 seconds left in the fourth. No good on the quick three. And here is Harris. So we see the Mavericks get the win here. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan player of the game, Devin Harris.